Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello and welcome to New York Talk. This is the Rotherham United podcast. So all you Rotherham fans out there, welcome as always. I understand we've gained some followers and some listeners from, well, they're still in Rotherham, but support Sheffield Wednesday. So good evening, good morning, wherever you all are. You are all welcome whenever you'd like to join us. Nice to have you aboard. Mick is back with us. I know you've become a very popular figure over the last few days. We will come on to all this. If anybody's not on social media, we'll cover all this. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, hello. It's been a difficult weekend, if I'm honest with you.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, other than the 90 minutes of football, I've enjoyed this weekend a lot. Ben's back with us. Hello, Benjamin. How is your hair today?
Yeah, it's good.
And Danny, back with us again, mate. Thank you very much for being with us.
No worries. Always a pleasure to be here. And can we just say, on the mug, best team in South Yorkshire. No matter what the Wednesday fans say, best team in South Yorkshire.
There's quite a lot to pick apart from this weekend. I think the best place to start is let's just talk about the game to start with. Let's just get on with that, talk about that, and then if we've got time left at the end, we'll address any other issues. So we ended up losing 2-0, a frustrating game, to say the least. The classic game of two halves sort of springs to mind. Danny, let's talk about the first big incident of the game, really, which was Chio coming off. He was outstanding for that 20 minutes or so before he came off. They just, as with Morecambe, Plymouth and Wigan, they could not deal with Chio at all.
Yeah, exactly. But before we get into talking about the game, I do need to get one of these because, you know. Right. So, with Chio, I think Wednesday's game plan for the game, especially in the first half, was to just get rid of Chio. Not necessarily injuring him. I'm not saying the malicious in that way, but just to try and get him like in his own little box where he doesn't really have an impact on the game, because they understand he was our best player effectively, and he was for however long he was on the pitch. But as soon as he felt a bit of his hamstring go and then went off, I've seen some of the stats on Twitter, we just sort of levelled off and didn't really threaten goal until the penalty. And then second half completely changed. I don't know what changed. I don't know if Wednesday had a kick up the arse from Darren Moore in the changing room, but it's as if something just switched on in their heads and they just went for it and scored twice. But no, Chio will be a massive loss in future games. Hopefully he's not out too long. But yeah, as soon as Chio went off, the game sort of switched a little bit, and then in the second half it just changed completely.
He had a lot of space, Mick. I get what Danny's saying. When he got into dangerous areas, they tried to press him. But when he wasn't within 2 or 3 yards of the box, he really did have freedom of Rotherham to just roam up and down that wing up to a point. Yeah. But that caused them more problems because it allowed him to get that momentum and allowed him to get into the danger. If his final ball was better, we would have been in a much better position because he got himself into some superb positions before coming off.
That's the story of Chio, isn't it? You know, his final ball is still not there at the moment, and when it does arrive, when he does finally master that art of putting the dangerous ball into the box consistently, then he'll no longer be a Rotherham United player, will he? He'll be playing at a much higher level. So yeah, I mean, obviously in terms of Chio, Darren Moore didn't read the script on that, did he? Or certainly the team didn't, because he was definitely causing them lots and lots of problems, but. You know, he went off and that kind of changed the game. I think probably is the key moment for me from a Rotherham United point of view, in terms of how dangerous we looked after that.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair, Ben. What are your thoughts on Chio? It was took off as a precaution, according to Paul Warne, which in the grand scheme of things is the right decision. Because if we pushed him we didn't want to put all his eggs into this game because there's 42 more games to play, and we need him to play as many of those 42 games as possible. So it was. I assume you can disagree if you like. It was the right decision, precautionary, to take him off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as soon as he came off, they just picked us apart, really. If I'm being honest, I think we tried to attack them, and then when we lost Chio, they counter-attacked us. I mean, when they had the ball, it seemed like we had 3 players back. And then when we got the ball, we had 3 players forward. I don't really know what happened, if I'm being honest.
But when he came off?
Yeah, I mean, we just lost. Like, his replacement was, I'm not going to say anything. But...
We will talk about it.
We'll talk about it, but I'm going to go and get my boots at garage. So I can go get a trial down there. I think I could be more effective. But we just lost our way, and they capitalised on that. I think a lot.
Yeah, they did. I tend to agree with that. There were no real. We'll come on to the penalty in a minute, Danny. But there was no obvious chance in that first half other than the penalty. We had most of the ball. It felt like we had most of the ball. We certainly had more of the threatening areas more than them. But it's becoming a recurring theme now of turning that attacking play into gilt-edged chances and then taking the chances. There's 4 games in, I know, but there is a theme cropping up in 4 games now.
Yeah, and I mean, there's only 1 game that we've lost that we've scored in. The other 2 have been 2-0. And again, that game against Accrington, it were an absolute wieldy free kick from Sadlier. But I can understand why the club is still after a striker, because it adds that extra backup layer. Because like we've seen, if Freddie's injured or ill, then Coyote steps in, and he's not as, shall we say, rooted in as some of the more experienced strikers are. So you can see Coyote playing as the second striker alongside Smith. But I still see him as a winger. Some people might disagree with me, but we saw him play at Carlisle on the wing, and whenever he's playing on the left-hand side, he seems to be doing really well. And I don't know, I just see him as more of a winger. But I don't know, like you said, there's no real gilt-edged chances. Like, we played well against Plymouth. And we got them 2 chances in the box, but they're the only 2 goals we've scored in the box. The other one's been a 30-yard free kick and a 25-yard strike from Smithy. So we need, I don't know, like you say, gilt-edged chances. You just seem to escape us. We don't seem to get the ball into the mixer and find a way through. Even if it's just the ball drops within your shoot, we seem to get the ball on either the edge of the area or just in the area and play it out to somebody. And even though we're one of the highest, how do you put it? We've got the highest shots in the league so far, but we just seem to be not going on target. We seem to be going, fans have told us to shoot, and you shoot. But then when you have the opportunity to shoot and it could be on target, you sort of pass it alongside the midfielders a bit more. Like, I want to see more shots from Rathbone, from Wiles, from Lindsay. I want to see Ogbenny, when he's fit, have more shots. I want to see Miller have more shots. Like we saw in pre-season, that midfield 4 or 5, if you like, they were shooting more. They were just shooting more. And we seem to have now dropped back and gone, oh no, that's a striker's job. They'll shoot unless they get the ball in the box and then they have a go at it. So could we be braver going forwards? Yes. I mean, the only real opportunity, other than a bit of a goal line scramble in the second half, was sadly his penalty. And other than that, our strike force was kept very quiet, which is a bit worrying when it's a South Yorkshire derby, But yeah, like you say, we just seem to be lacking that, that initiative to go, you know what, have more shots at goal. Don't be worried if it misses, because it's a goal kick and you can sit there and you can sit back again. And get your shape again. But we seem to be worried to just go, you know what, have a go.
There's a fine line, isn't there, though?
Exactly.
We're going to talk about Sadlier a lot tonight. But there were a couple of times in second half where Sadlier is just taking shots.
It's just
where there's no way on earth he should be taking
I don't know how to say it without swearing, but you throw enough at the wall and hoping some sticks. Like, it's just not the way to play football. Yeah, forget it. Maybe that's like sadly, when you get to Sunday League, right, you can do that. When you get to playing against smart players, and as you go up the levels, that's not going to work. That to me, that I've never seen a team go far by taking long shots.
Sadly it did.
I hate the way the game is played when it's like that. Cause when you're on that team, it's like, I'm open. Yes, pass. Oh, okay, shot. When that happens throughout the game, I want you to go and smack him.
There's a couple of different points. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's more talking about. There were two standout moments for me where we should have took long shots yesterday. Coyote in the first half skinned a couple of people, and it opened up for him.
It was gonna.
He didn't take the shot.
It was gonna, and he got tackled. We were doing that slow when he slow thing.
And then there were one in second half, which might have been wild. I can't remember where it was basically not clean through on goal, but I had a really good view of the goal. And he just chose to knock it out wide. When you're bearing down on goal like that, just take your opportunity. The difference is Cavaliers were just...
And like you say, with Coyotes, he was tackled, but could have took it earlier or passed it out wider. But then again, that could come down to his experience as the second striker and then playing on the wing at Carlisle. You know, he's come inside and he's probably like, well, shall I pass it? You know, and then he's been tackled. Same with Wales. Wales... Probably could have had a shot, but then again, it's one of them things of if it goes miles over, you know, all hands get thrown up in air because it were rubbish. But now it's like even with Coyote winning the penalty, it was a run down the left hand side and it caught out their defence, and that's why he's won the penalty. And I don't care what the Wednesday fans say on Twitter, it wasn't a dive. it wasn't a dive. It was a penalty, and you know, fair play on saving it. No complaints for that.
I think it was a foul.
Oh,
it was not in the area.
Listen,
interesting.
Listen.
It's not a penalty.
Let's be fair.
Never been a penalty.
Patterson's tried fouling him from halfway line. Patterson's finally caught with him, and Coyote's done the clever thing and slowed down when he gets near the box because he was never going to shoot. Like Dennis said, he was coming on the left hand side. He's not going to be able to get a shot off, so he slowed down. And he's throwing himself into the box. There is contact. It's absolutely a foul. Absolutely 100% foul. You can just shut your all you want.
It's contact. It's a contact sport. This is what really annoys me. Because
take that off on your bingo.
I don't know if anyone watched the Arsenal game earlier, right? Saka has been tripped up. Accidentally been tripped up. No foul. Whatever. That's fine. Not going to give that. That's fine. It's contact sport. Yesterday, man. That's not even a foul in basketball. That's genuinely not even a foul in basketball. It's not in basketball, and that's a non-contact sport. So why is it a foul in our sport? What is a foul? Genuinely, someone tell me what's a foul.
That was a foul.
What is a foul? I'm asking a question.
He's tried to pull him down
on
about 3 separate occasions.
You're not answering my question. What's a foul?
It varies on the situation.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
That was a foul.
Personally.
Anyway, but it was outside the area. Where we sit, Mick and Ben.
I didn't think about
that. We all said straight away, that's outside the area. We all said straight away, that's outside the area. And we're all a bit of shock. They actually gave the penalty in the box. I was very surprised. But what it does, it allows us to blame the referee for losing the game. Because if we hadn't got the penalty and if we hadn't missed it, that was, although we talked about Chio being a changing point, it was. That penalty was the turning point of the game. They might as well have scored a goal and put themselves one. The momentum shift in the game was instant and dramatic.
I've got a couple of things on it, to be honest with you. First of all, just very quickly, just to go back, that wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a foul. It was a dive. It dove from outside the area into the area. Yeah, there were contact. Yeah, they were tussling football. That's all they were doing. It was not a penalty.
They weren't. Let's not use the adjective of tussling because that describes manliness. That wasn't manly.
They were running. They were running next
describe
to
manliness?
each other.
Well, no, it's like aggression, contact, aggression.
Whatever.
You know, like the old stereotype, isn't it?
But you know what I mean.
Having said all that, yeah, it did change the game a little bit. But it was right on the stroke of half time. So I don't really think that you can necessarily say that was what had an impact on the second half performance from us. Yeah, it would have been nice to score. Yeah, absolutely. It was a good save. There's no doubt about it. Whether he was still on his line when ball was kicked is another matter altogether. But, what can you do? You're never, ever going to get that given. So you accept that, and I'm not going to complain about that. It was a cracking save. And to be fair, he was there. Their keeper was their standout player, weren't he? He was the only standout player, to be fair. But I'll come on to that.
In our team.
We'll come on to that. So I'm not convinced it was that necessarily that was the shift in momentum. Although obviously it didn't help, did it?
No, but you're going 1-0 up.
Yeah,
and it's and I think what I mean by it, it's given them a lift, but it's also kicked us in gut as well. It's from a twofold point of view. We didn't come out the same team, and yeah, I accept that they came out better than they were, but we did not come out the same team.
No,
we turned as bad as well as they turned well. So that didn't really make much sense, but I think you know what I mean.
You said that though, Matt, and I know we'll go into the second half. We didn't play that much differently in the second half, and neither did they. I don't think there was a massive change in the balance of the game at all at any point until that second goal. That was the point at which, for me, the difference in attitude towards the match between the two teams changed. Up until that point, I don't think it changed it that much. I don't think the performance differed that much. We maybe didn't create quite as much in that first part of the second half.
Created nothing.
Yeah, all right. Well, there you go.
In the entire half.
Let's not sugarcoat it.
I'm not sugarcoating it.
Let's go bit by bit. Because I think let's cover their goals.
Can we go back to the penalty?
Go on, yeah.
Why is Coyote? I want to ask a question. Why is Coyote not taking it? Because Coyote goes down, right? Wins the penalty, right? Penalty or not, whatever. Picks the ball up, walks away, says, I'm having it. Someone, whatever, that says Sadler's having it. Okay, cool. Sadler goes and misses it. So why the hell is Coyote not allowed that penalty? So if he's in the team for, and this is what someone said, he's a dead ball specialist, right? A penalty is a free throw if you're in the team for a dead ball specialist. Why? I mean, if I'm Coyote, I'm asking serious questions, if I'm being honest, on why I'm not allowed that penalty.
I accept that. I've seen a lot of people say this on Twitter. I've seen this argument a lot on Twitter, and I sort of understand what people are saying, sort of. But for most professional football teams and for most professional sports, when it comes to any type of dead ball set piece situation, you have a certain person for a certain role. You have a penalty competition or a free kick competition in training, right? He does this because he's done that. Rugby, you have obviously a defined kicker, a defined thrower. Cricket, you've got defined people for defined roles. In fielding positions, for example. That's why Sadler took the penalty, because he is our penalty taker. This goes back to Birmingham last year, scored a penalty at Birmingham last year, and it was a superb penalty, unstoppable. This one was a bit lower than that. If I was Cody, I probably would be a little bit annoyed. But he's got to understand that it's a team game. Number one, it's a team game. And number two, more importantly, there would have been a discussion at some point that Sadler is the penalty taker. So Coyote should never have tried to take that penalty. This is a little bit of a dig at Coyote, but for me, it's not a big deal. He shouldn't have tried to take the penalty because he knew he wasn't meant to take it. So there's no blame on Sadler there for me for that situation.
I think it's just an eagerness to get his first senior goal for Rotherham. I think that's all it was. I mean, like you said, the club does have designated dead ball takers, free kicks, corners, and penalties. Now, I think if Barlaser was on the pitch, he would have had the penalty. Because he scored the penalty against Sheffield Wednesday last time because he was on the pitch. But because he wasn't, the pecking order must be Barlaser, Sadler, Smith. I don't know. But like you say, it's not having a go at Coyote for wanting to take the penalty, because you can understand wanting to get the first senior goal for the club that's nurtured you from academy level. But at the same time, it's a thing of Sadler must be just higher up in the pecking order in terms of taking penalties. Now, like you say, if Coyote had taken it and missed it, the argument's there of, well, why has Coyote taken it? Because Sadler has missed it, the argument is, well, why hasn't Coyote taken it? Because he's won it. If Smith had taken it and scored it, there'd be massive praise on Smith for scoring the penalty. It's just one of them arguments where if it's swung one way, the argument will swing the other way. Proper swings and roundabouts argument for me.
Fair enough. Mick, thoughts? Anything more to add on that?
Yeah, it's fine, isn't it? As soon as somebody misses a penalty, Captain Hindsight comes along and says somebody else should have took it, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And we seem to have got quite a few of them in our fan base, much like every other club, I guess. You know, well, I'd have done it this way. Well, you would do now, yeah. Now you know the result. You know, I mean, if it were me yesterday, I'd have played a completely different side and scored more goals than Wednesday. But obviously, I'm not manager.
No, I noticed.
It's just nonsense. It's nonsense for me. We have a designated penalty taker. Sadly, as that man when he's on pitch. End of. Yeah, he didn't score it.
It wasn't a terrible penalty, let's be fair.
No,
it was a decent enough penalty.
No.
It wasn't amazing, but it was decent enough.
It was plenty
decent.
of power.
Not enough. It wasn't enough, but it was decent.
Well, it wasn't obviously missed, but
Well, exactly. Well, that's the point.
but it was a decent penalty. It took a very good save.
Yeah, well, it was a good penalty. It was a good penalty.
Good penalty, good save.
Good penalty, good save.
Yeah. And then 50th minute, again, Mick, I said to you on about the 48th minute, something like that, there's a goal coming here.
Yeah.
And it was just happening. There was a momentum shift. I don't think they were playing spectacularly, but they had the ascendancy. There's no doubt they had the ascendancy in the game. It was a good ball out wide. We'll come on to the issues with it in a minute. It's a good ball out wide. Wes Harding, questionable defensively, but yes. And then the ball's coming to Florian Camberi, who apparently we were linked with in the summer, which is obviously, another good thing. Mick, we're going to sound like sour grapes. I imagine, get ready to click this, Wednesday fans. It was offside twice. The first initial ball, again, you can't see this on the telly. And again, I said this already, Mick and Ben can say this, we were banging in line with that goal.
And it wasn't offside. It
was offside.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter.
Again,
that's not the reason the goal went in. It was awful defending.
2 points to this again. For me and Mick, it was offside. You say it wasn't. Okay.
I don't care if it was offside.
The second ball that came in was also offside. The main issue I have with it is that in the first half, that linesman, every marginal offside against us, it was given. And there was some he got right, some he got wrong in the first half, for me. But every single marginal offside, he flagged it off. I think that's a bit lazy, but if you're going to do that, not a problem. That was at best, it was offside, but at best it was marginal. And he chose not to give it offside compared to the ones in the first half, Mick.
Yeah, it's what you expect. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to moan about it because we should have done better. Wes Harding made his first mistake probably while he's been with us at club.
That's all right. He made some mistakes last year. Let's not sugarcoat things. Why are we sugarcoating things?
Wes Harding's made another mistake. How many more is he going to be allowed to make?
That's not my point.
Get rid of him.
This is it's not his first.
Contract. Come on.
It's not his first.
Get Bowler on. Get rid of him.
It's not his first.
Wes Harding's
it's one of few.
But let's not.
One of the few mistakes he's made whilst he's been at the club. He was very, very weak in that challenge, and he allowed himself to be bullied, which is very unlike him. And from that point on, it's only going one way. Once he's past Wes Harding, that's it. It's game over unless Victor can pull off a stunning save. So we've gifted him. That goal's been gifted to him by some poor defending for me. I'm not going to shout at Wes Harding. I'm not going to moan and groan about it. It happens in football. Players get out of position. They get out muscled every now and again. It's disappointing, but it happens, doesn't it? There's nothing else we can say about it. I'm not convinced, having watched it back, that the second ball, the ball across, is offside. When the ball's played, the player is behind the ball. It didn't look like it at the time. The first ball out wide is, in my view, offside, but whatever. You're not going to get them. We know what we get. We know what to expect from officials in this league. So you've got to run with it. And we've got to defend better, and we didn't. So we got what we deserved. Yeah,
I think that pretty much sums it up pretty well. Ben, anything to add on the goal? It was a mistake. It's one of those things.
I've watched the highlights back. I love Woody to death, but he's joggy. Like, I don't know if he thought he would a spectator in game or what, but he beats Wes Harding, and it's a nice casual walking park. Like, come on. I know you're not Usain Bolt, but I mean, try and get a blocking or something. Like, I'm not no defending guru, but like, I don't know what crack is. I don't know what they taught. I don't know whether they taught to just let them score and then go again, or what the crack is. To be honest with you, this is my point, because everyone's jogging, blaming the linesman. That's not going to do anything, because the linesman's not going to overrule a goal. That's never. I don't think I've ever seen that happen without VAR. So, I mean, it was just poor defending.
I mean, didn't it happen to Sunderland on the same day?
I don't know.
I didn't watch it. I didn't see
I think didn't Sunderland score a last-minute goal and the linesman flagged it?
I don't know.
Oh, that was the week before, weren't it? And
the week before.
And it
right.
was offside. That.
Oh, the Burton one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's one of them that could have gone either way. For me, it was offside, and it could have. He probably should have given it, but at the same time, it's just a frustration compared to the first half for me. His decision making in the first half was different to that goal, but it's League One officiating. I suppose to ask for consistency is maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, just a bit.
Then the second goal came on the 77th minute, and this goal, Danny, was almost as heartbreaking as the entire defeat, because it happened to Victor, and it's a silly little mistake he's made. But I just gutted it happened to him. I'm genuinely gutted it happened to him.
Yeah, and you can see how gutted it made him as well, because he came around to the fans and apologised afterwards, as if he was saying it's my fault. It were a 2-goal margin. But I don't know if this is going up before the matchday vlog or after. Wednesday fans will enjoy that one and ripping it to shreds. But everyone in the North Stand thinks he saved it. So we're all ready to go, way, he saved it. But then we realise that all Wednesday fans have jumped up, and it's like, well, what's just happened? And the only way I really saw the fault in it was by watching it back. And it's a Rob Green mistake. He's tried to get the ball and it's just gone behind him, and then Gregory's pounced on it. Now, you could argue that could be a follow-up issue with the defence. You know, you never think he's got it 100%, always check, you know. But like you say, it's so heartbreaking, because number one, it happened to Victor, who, again, doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
I think that is his first one for us, not far off his first one.
Yeah, well, his first major mistake that's cost us a goal. And then second, it was an undeserved second goal, in my opinion. And again, Wednesday fans watching, thank you for the views. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that stuff. You can clip this as much as you like, but the quality of their team against us didn't deserve a second goal. I'm going to hold my hands up and say they deserve to win, right? Because they edged it second half, I'll admit that. But a 2-goal scoreline flatters them a bit. Because I don't know. I said at half time, next scorer will win this, and I was right. But the 2-goal scoreline flattered them a bit, because after their first half performance, it deserved to be a single goal scoreline, and then you could say, well, they edged the second half, they edged the first half, saved the penalty, then they edged the second half, and they took the chance. Fair enough, but I don't know. A 2-goal scoreline seemed to flatter them a little bit. It puts us on a similar pedestal to the game against Doncaster, and Sheffield Wednesday were by far the better team against Doncaster. But the single goal scoreline would be more suited to the performance on the pitch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there.
I don't know what the start of the past week about sugarcoating players. Talk about Hansen's first mistake. Did he not give up a goal against Accrington from poor keeping? Awful.
It was
more debatable. Yeah, it wasn't completely one of those. If you were being very critical, you could have blamed him.
I mean, come on. Well, okay, that's fine.
I mean, he pulled off a wonder save, and then it just happened to fall. But again, Danny mentioned it. You can
not that one. The first goal on Accrington.
Oh, the one where Matic stitched him up for poor defending.
Yeah.
He got stitched up from poor defending.
There's no need to make a mistake.
Oh, you're
harsh. I mean, no, whoa. If one person makes a mistake, well, that's it. I don't have to do my job because I don't have to take fault. He's made a mistake. No.
But he didn't. Okay.
As soon as that shot goes, situation starts again. They're two separate situations. Matic made a mistake. Johansson made a mistake. Let's not combine the two.
We have talked about this, but that could go. Matic made a mistake and mistake unsighted of Johansson which meant he didn't see it until the very last second, which is why the goal went in. He can't see through people.
Whatever.
Unfortunately, that would be very helpful as a goalkeeper if you could see through people.
Whatever.
That solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So Ben, your sympathy to Victor is minimal.
Yeah, I know. I've got a lot of sympathy for him. I
Okay,
think
good.
it's a stupid mistake, but
Mm.
he's human. He's a young goalkeeper who just hasn't, you know what I mean? He's a human goalkeeper. That's the only way to put it. It's an awful mistake to do. I mean, respect to Barlasser, went straight up to him to conceive him, but I mean, his head didn't drop.
So what?
Obviously, what's the word? Not
Valles went up to console
not
him.
conceive him, console him.
Conceive him. We want to conceive him.
Console
Excellent,
him.
Ben.
That's a different kind of show. That Ben, I'm telling
That's
you.
a completely different podcast.
He went to console him, so respect to him, but his
No,
head didn't drop.
console him, not consult
Console
him.
All right, console him. Went to console him, and his head didn't drop. So
Yeah, it is. The irony is, Mick, again, something else we've talked about in the game. He made a save against Lee Gregory about 5 minutes before the mistake. And I literally said to you, I love that man more and more each game. And then 10 minutes later, he does a mistake like that.
Yeah, he throws it back at net for him, doesn't he? It is what it is, isn't it? You know, I'm kind of glad it was Victor and not Blackman that made it. Otherwise, we'd have to be going through all that on social media. An entirely different reaction from our set of supporters for that mistake that conceded a goal against Sheffield Wednesday at home in front of the Sheffield Wednesday supporters to the ones mistakes that Blackman made against nondescript sides that mean nothing and yet got slated to hell. So it does, you know. But anyway, whatever. I feel for him. I feel for that. But he will learn from it, won't he? You know.
Yeah. On a positive note, a few minutes after that, he came out and cleaned a couple of people out to punch the ball out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
He got over it. It was brilliant.
That were amazing. He came out like Tom Daly. It were hilarious.
He did. Yeah. I love Victor. And we wouldn't change him for the world. We wouldn't change him for anybody else in this division. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
Then it petered out, Ben. The game did peter out. Warney said in his post-match that when it got to 2-0, his view from the sideline was that the players lacked the belief to get back into the game at 2-0, which is a bit of a concern. But I suppose at the same time, because of the manner of the second goal and because we missed a penalty, you can sort of see why there's such a deflation of the players because of the circumstances.
can you blame them by the time the full whistle went? They had more fans in than us. I'm asking a genuine question. They had more fans than us. So what play? If we even got momentum, it weren't going to work because they had more fans than us. So what belief is there to have?
Yeah, fair comment. That never leave a football game early.
No, people shouldn't, but people do. It happens. But
this is what I said to one of my mates. I said, you didn't see a swathe and swathes of people leave when we were 7-0 down to Man City.
Yeah.
So why is it any different against Sheffield Wednesday? Like, I get people are annoyed, and we've lost 2-0 to Sheffield Wednesday, which is like sinful behaviour to our fan base, losing 2-0 to a local rival. But you can't leave a football game early. Like we said on the podcast, what stupid percentage was it of goals are scored late on in South Yorkshire derbies? About
10 in the last 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like, why leave early? It's not a dig at anybody. I'm sure people will have the reasons, but if you have the opportunity to stay until the end, stay until the end. Get your money's worth. We're Yorkshire people. Get your money's worth.
It's funny. Yeah, but people have the reasons. It's funny you don't have the reasons when you're 2-0. Like, it's it really is embarrassing.
Did you not know? Did you know that football fans are fickle, man?
It's football fans. Let's exaggerate football fans. No other fans, football fans.
Yeah, people support in different ways. Let's be kind about it. People support in different ways. That's probably as kind as I can put it, Ben.
I think we found that out of a weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
Away from football.
Yes, we have. Let's talk about some positives, which do sort of talk about the way Wednesday played as well. I thought, Danny, I'm interested in your thoughts. We've all talked about this on Saturday, but I thought Jamie Lindsay was superb. We've talked about Barry Bannon on a previous show, and although Mick wouldn't have me starting 11, he clearly is one of their best players. Well, by the fan reaction, he must be their best player they've ever had. But Jamie Lindsay stood by his side for the full up until the second goal, and Bannon didn't have any impact on the game. He couldn't get an impact on the game. He had the odd flick, but in terms of the actual footballing side of things, Jamie Lindsay just did a superb job of taking him out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, for the amount of chatter on the Wednesday socials about how good Barry Bannon is, if you're talking that highly of him, he didn't live up to that hype against us, if that makes sense. And like you said, Jamie Lindsay was put on to man mark Bannon, and he did it really well. Like I said, there were a couple of fleeting chances where Bannon got the ball and took it upfield, where Lindsay was probably caught out because he was, I don't know, more advanced position or whatever it was. But in terms of meaningful impacts on the game, Bannon was kept very quiet by Lindsay. Same with Wing. Wing was kept very quiet in that game. And I think if Bannon wasn't the captain, it'd have been took off at a similar time to Wing to freshen up the midfield a little bit. But I think our midfield three did superbly yesterday. Like, Wiles did really well. He put himself about quite a lot. A lot of the fans who were sat around me were going, Wiles is having an exceptional game. He's played really well. If that's because he's a Rotherham fan and he's got a bit between his teeth, I'm not sure, but he played really well. Lindsay, I wouldn't say man-marked Bannon out of the game, but he certainly impacted on Bannon's performance, we'll say that. And then Rathbone was really good. He's had another good game, another man of the match performance. And personally, I don't know why they took him off. Personally, I don't know, because he was running our midfield a little bit. But anyway, I'm not the manager. It's not my decision to make. But there you go.
Yeah, we did. We one of them. We sort of won the midfield battle, but in the end, they did win the midfield battle. Not because, and they ended up winning the game because of it. It was. Did they though? I sort of tossing and turning on this.
They won the battle. People right. We had a chance in the first half. I can't remember. They skied it right.
Bannon, or whatever his name is.
Bannon drops back. Lindsay comes back. A hole the size of Atlantic River opens up. They go through and nearly score. Second half, Bannon's running through, plays a little pass. Lee Gregory one-on-one misses it. Bannon's playing on a Premier League team. That's 2 goals. Personally, I think Bannon is the second best midfielder in this league behind Wing. What he does to mentally...
You think Wing's better?
Behind who?
Who's Wing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the best player on our pitch every game last year.
I need another beer if that's the way you're thinking.
Let's be real. Come on. He had a bad game against us. I think you were nervous. But...
That's a big question mark, then, isn't it?
I thought they won the midfield battle. Yeah, Lindsay did man mark him out. Bannon didn't have a touch, but they won the game.
I think it's more of a case of we won the battle but lost the war.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Ben's right. Ben's got a big point on this, that Bannon had a big impact on the game.
He did.
Because Lindsay had to man mark him.
Bannon don't play in that game, they don't win. Bannon don't play in that game, they don't win. Because the way he uses it, they dominated us, right? They dominated us. It's all good Lindsay man marking Bannon. They're still dominating us, so what's the point? Personally, I think they dominated because Bannon used it against us. If you see it from goal kicks, he dropped all the way down to the box so they could knock it in behind. I think it's one of the smartest players I've seen play live.
I can see what Ben's saying, because I think in the first half we won the midfield battle, but in the second half they worked it out. They worked it out, and because Bannon is a smart footballer, we're not denying he's a good player. So before the Wednesday fans start clipping us again, we're not saying he's a bad footballer. We're saying that in the first half, Lindsay controlled him and kept him quiet. In the second half, it was more lively because he understood what Lindsay were doing. Granted, he still didn't have the impact that Wednesday fans hype him up to have, but he played really smartly and then took Lindsay further and further back, and then that created space behind him. Bannon was a smart footballer, but he wasn't necessarily an exceptional footballer.
On Saturday.
He figured it out from minute one. That's why he kept dropping.
I don't think he did. I
was watching him the whole game. I swear that I was watching him the whole game because I was like, okay, I've seen him on TV. What's all this hype about? And it was the way he moved off the ball, the way he did little things where it came to him. They had 2 players closing in on his corner, and he faked the long shot, took it round, and played a simple pass. Like, I don't know how to explain it, man. But I was watching the whole game.
If there's a Wednesday fan behind the camera with a gun, just blink twice and we'll send somebody around.
I'm being dead serious, man. Like, I really don't like Wednesday, right? I really don't like Wednesday. But Bannon is a very good footballer. He's a very good. He wouldn't end the game.
There's no question about that.
He wouldn't end the game. I'm saying
Did he? Did he win? Did they win the game, or did our mistakes cost us the game?
Well, this is the thing. Fans look at
the headline from Paul Davis's article was RUFC hand Wednesday the win. And that's not far off, right?
This is because fans look at the game, right? We all look at the game, right? Of who's got the ball, who's got the ball, who's got the ball. That man didn't really have the ball. Don't mean he didn't play very well.
Okay, Mick, jump in. You've been very quiet. I'm enjoying it.
Well, you know, I mean, I've said what I've said about Bannon in the previous one, and somehow. It's been clipped and put all over the internet, I assume by Sheffield Wednesday fans watching a Rotherham United podcast, which I find a little bit peculiar, to be honest.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, I mean, I said what I said. I've watched him. You've got to bear in mind, and I'll put some context into what I said, so don't clip this bit because this will obviously ruin anything else. I'm a Rotherham United supporter, just to let you know, just so you're aware. As a consequence of being a Rotherham United supporter, the football I watch generally involves Rotherham United. I do not watch Sheffield Wednesday, except when they're playing Rotherham United. So I know what people talk about Barry Bannon. They say, is this, is that, is the other. I've not seen that. I've not seen it. I've never seen it when he's played against Rotherham
He's never
United.
hurt us, has he?
No.
Yes,
it hasn't.
he won them the game.
Mate, you know how Ben always mutes you when we're in like the post.
Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Yeah. He hasn't won us. He didn't win them the game. We gave them the game. We've covered that. You know, we gave them both goals. He may have played well off the ball. He may have done. And the fact that Paul Warne felt the need to man mark him clearly shows that he respects him as a player. And respects the fact that he can do some damage. He hasn't done that to us. He may have torn other teams apart. I don't know. I don't know how old he is. I don't know if he's, you know, if he's that good. He's not. I don't know why he's not featuring in Scotland squad if he's that good. But you know, I mean, I suppose the same people are singing his praises now.
You've got McGinn and McTominay.
Will have been.
So he's not going to get in.
The same people are singing his praises now. In the summer, will have been saying how crap Scotland are, and yet he still can't get in that side. So, I don't know. For me, yeah, all right, he might be a good player. He's never done it against us. That's where I get my information from. I don't watch Sheffield Wednesday because I'm not a Sheffield Wednesday supporter. I'm a Rotherham United supporter. In terms of Lewis Wing, I think Lewis Wing showed on Saturday exactly what we talked about in that last podcast, in the fact that his head is not in the right place. He was absolutely frightened to death on Saturday. Frightened to death. He just did not get involved in the game at all. And when he did, he was ineffective. And that's what Lewis brings to your team. That's what Lewis Wing brings to your team. We said it on Saturday, and then he will continue to do that. He'll have flashes of brilliance throughout the season, Sheffield Wednesday fans. So you'll be able to sing a lovely song about him. But I'm telling you now, he ain't magic. He don't wear a magic hat. And he ain't going to win your promotion on his own. He might score you a couple of goals.
And if he scores goals, they'll be worldies.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
It's like the goals he scored for us were all effectively worldies.
But he's not got that, I don't know, mentally he's not in the right place, I don't think. And I think that's why he's not playing for Middlesbrough. It's why he's not playing Championship. And that's why he got substituted in 70 minutes or whatever, because he's completely ineffective. From a footballing point of view, from a purely on-the-ball footballing point of view on Saturday, it was as effective as Bannon was.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I suspect a hope from Wednesday is that Bannon's experience will help Wing along.
Yeah,
that's got to be their plan. Maybe we lacked that experience last year. Maybe that's why it didn't necessarily work out in our midfield as well as it could have. Because we do like that. We did lack that experience in midfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
We brought Wing in to bring in the experience, which is potentially an issue in itself.
Ultimately, when you're looking at a player like Barry Bannon, if you're going to put him in your midfield, then he's there for the experience. He's there to show other players. The likes of Ben Wiles, who was better than Barry Bannon on the ball on Saturday. More effective on the ball, more effective at breaking down play, more effective at creating attacks by a long way, because he wasn't man marked, because he wasn't taken out of the game. He didn't have the ball taken away from him, or those opportunities taken away from him like Bannon did. So yeah, I'm sure he's a good player. There's loads of good players.
You have a field day in this league. There's some.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not every club has a Jamie Lindsay who can go man marking. A lot of clubs don't have that type of player. We have that player who can go man mark a player like that.
Yeah. Let's not get touchy about it. He's nobody's dad. He's nobody's son here. You know what I mean? He's just a professional footballer. Some people like him, some people don't. I don't.
Yeah. Why don't we change his nickname to Ben Bannon? So.
Can I say one last thing on him, Matt?
Yeah.
And I don't say this lightly. He's one of the smartest footballers I've ever seen play live. Ever watched.
We watched Manchester City. We watched Kevin De Bruyne and David Silva.
Yeah, I know.
Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said one of, not the.
So you're putting him in that bracket? Are you being serious?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I'm not putting him in the De Bruyne bracket, but everyone else outside Man City, everyone else outside of Man City that we played, I can't really think of one. Wait, what he does off the ball.
Okay. What I will say is we missed an entire season last year where we weren't watching live football. So there's probably some people last year which did similar jobs. Again, it's different watching it on iPhone than it is watching it live. For me, this is just my opinion. Kevin De Bruyne is a better player than Barry Bannon. Just my opinion.
That's not what I said, though, is it? That's not what I said.
Wednesday fans won't like that, so I apologise. I don't apologise. Anyway.
I'll tell you what, if you're going to clip anything from this video, you can clip me spitting out my water when you said we've played Manchester City, and then my bottle somehow fainting off my table. If you're going to clip anything, clip that from today. My days.
Oh, Ben, I tell you now, mate, this place won't be the same way, aren't you?
I'm stand by it, yeah. I stand by it.
That's why I like it, mate. I don't agree with you, but that's why I like it. Let's talk about some non-footballing issues before we come back to the footballing issues. The kickoff was delayed by 15 minutes because of a ticketing issue. It's the fourth game of the season, which two of them been delayed. The first one was Wigan's fault. The Plymouth game could have been delayed as well. I know it feels like a minor issue compared to the non-footballing things, Danny, but it is quite a big issue. These issues should have been resolved already. It is a black mark against the club that are having these issues.
I mean, just in my personal experience, I got in fine.
I did,
and that's because I was there half an hour before kickoff. And all you need to do, I don't know if it's because Rotherham fans don't understand that the new ticketing system's like a contactless card. If you've got a season ticket, you just go beep and it's in. Or if it's because loads of people were just in the pub and they've all just arrived en masse and that's why there's a queue. I'm not sure, but like you say, it is a little bit of a mark about like all the issues we've had at the start of the season. Like with catering and stuff against Plymouth, you can sort of let them off because it's a lot of new people coming.
First game.
And I've got a mate who is in catering. He says the amount of new people they've got is ridiculous. Like they've just got rid of the other people and brought in all the new people, and it's like trying to teach a brand new course at school to people who have never had any sniff of it whatsoever. You know, it's like teaching people who are doing even a course in IT how to do biology. You know, that's how new it is for some of them. But with ticketing, they've installed the new system, and it's great. You know, it's an easier system because all you need to do is just effectively walk past the centre with your season ticket, and it lets you in. But I don't know where the issue comes into it. Do we need more turnstiles? You know, is it because the printer's not printing the barcodes correctly? I'm not sure. But or is it just because fans are all turning up 10 minutes to go from the pub, and there's that many of them that it's just creating a backlog? I'm not sure.
I've got a solution to the tickets. To the catering, no. To tickets, don't show up 2 minutes before kickoff, and then you don't have to wait in the queue. That's what I do.
Yeah,
there's no but.
Just hang on. We've had 10 years almost 10 years, where this was never a problem. I might be wrong. I think maybe this first game against Sheffield United in one of the pre-season friendlies when we first moved in, I think it was delayed. But we've never ever had an issue with the previous barcode system. And now the contactless, for some reason, fans haven't suddenly started turning up later. That's not changed. So I accept that fans could turn up earlier, but people want to go to the pub before game. That's what they want to do.
That's fine.
They don't want to come to the game
That's
and
fine.
have a pint at ground because they're not very good most of the time.
That's fine. I accept the consequence that there may be a queue. You know what I mean? I don't go to shopping I don't do shopping, but if you go to shopping on a Saturday morning, right? If you're shopping on a Saturday morning, right, complain about the queue, go, oh my God, you need to do something about the queue. Don't want a Saturday morning then. Like, it just show up earlier. You want to have a pint, that's fine. Wait in the queue. If you don't want to have a pint, you want to get there early, don't wait in the queue. Fact, simple. You don't like it, not my problem.
What I will say is, Mick, it's a teething issue. It will get fixed, and these issues at some point, I don't know how long this is going to take, but this will be resolved. It's just a bit frustrating. It's happened games 1 and 2, but sort of understandable, but still frustrating.
It's not understandable in my view. I mean, I don't know what the issues have been. I don't know why people have not been able to get in, whether the ticket machine's not worked or whatever. People are going to turn up at 2 minutes to kick off. It's a football match. It happens at 92 grounds or 46 grounds, whatever it is, every single Saturday afternoon. Doesn't matter where you are, it will always happen. So we know that that's going to happen. The club know that's going to happen, but the club aren't obviously not responsible for operating this machinery. However it is that's installed the machinery has not done. It's just not working properly, and they're responsible, and they need their backsides kicking because it's not acceptable. They need to be knocking clubs some money off however many hundreds of thousands of pounds they're charging them for it. They need to be knocking some money off, and I'm sure Tony Stewart will be doing that. I'm sure he'll be sorting that out. In terms of the catering side of stuff, it's poor. It's poor. But again, I think this is another new company. Whether it's the same one, I don't know.
IPN, it's the new shirt sponsors,
right? Well, they need to get their backsides into gear because basically what they are doing is they are doing it on the cheap. So they're obviously been given the contract, so they'll be making their profits out of all the food and everything else. They want you to do cashless transfers, cashless payments, but they've only got one cash machine. So they've got somebody taking cards off people at the counter and wandering around inside with your card to use the machine, so you can't see the machine. It's not acceptable. It's not good enough. But it's one of those things, and I don't blame the club for that. You know, whatever this company are, IPM or whoever they are, they will have tendered for this work, you know, and they'll have given them a fantastic presentation to say how fantastically brilliant they are, you know. And then and it's always the same with these tenders in the private sector and in the public sector as well. When the companies tender for work, they're going to do this, that, and the other, and they're going to do it for next to no, and then they don't do any of it because they're not capable of doing it. They just got all they're capable of doing is giving a really good presentation to somebody, and that's clearly what's happened here. You don't get rid of all the previous staff that have been doing a job for 10 years, employ completely new people, completely new systems, and expect it all to work perfectly well for less money. Don't happen. That seems to be what's happened with it.
We're going to have to split this into 2 parts, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, and it'll get better, won't it?
Yeah, of course it will. That's just a lot of people talking about, so I think that would definitely worth mentioning. This is probably going to be another hour episode, so we've got a few more minutes before we finish off, and then we'll come back on Friday morning for the Donny game. Pick out a couple more good performances. Ben, I thought Coyote, forget about winning the penalty. I thought Coyote was a threat. I thought Smith and Coyote caused them problems. When Coyote came off, I think it lightened their defence's load quite a lot. I've been really impressed. Although he's not had a goal threat, I've still been quite impressed by Coyote's contribution to us so far.
Yeah, I thought it was better than Freddie when Freddie came on. It wasn't a game for Freddie. I don't think. I'm not a football manager. I'm not Freddie. So I don't know if it was a game for Freddie from a fan perspective. I personally don't think he's a aggressive, get up in your face derby kind of player. But I think Elliott should start. I mean, he played better than Smith yesterday, if we're being honest. Smith when Smith Maxwell had some practice at WWE and he had less stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, I honestly, I don't know how he stands it, really. But, yeah, to be honest, I thought he played better than Smith, so it's bad. I mean, I don't judge people of potential, but he's a good player.
I think that's the first shout. I'm impressed with him. I'm hoping to see him a bit more. He's probably earned himself another start. Now, whether we do that against Donny, I don't know. What I will say is that Wednesday's defence were clearly big and strong. And that's why Freddie got no joy out of them, because they were just big and strong and ball went up long, and Freddie's never going to win those chances, whereas Code can cause them more problems. Do you want to finish off, Danny? Let's give a little bit of credit to Wednesday. I thought defensively, the defensive four, including the keeper in the back three, I thought they were all really, really good. I still won't take any of them on our team, but I thought they were I thought they were really, really good, and that's a good base for them to build off.
Yeah, I'm like the only team in the league not to concede a goal yet.
Yeah.
In 90 minutes anyway. But yeah, I mean, like you say, you have to give him credit. I mean, I know it pains us to give our local rival credit, and again, you can clip this as much as you like, but Wednesday's back four and Peacock Farrell are very, very good for this division. They could be the difference between them going up automatically and finishing in the playoffs. You know, this opening 4 run of games where they haven't conceded a goal and they've won 3 out of the 4. If they carry on that form, heading more towards Christmas, like, who was it a bit ago? Was it Portsmouth a few years ago who did that, where they didn't concede a goal for ages and ages and ages?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if they have a similar run like that, plus their options in attack, which are also very good for this division, I will say that could be the difference between them going up automatically and not. You know, they could have a similar run to Portsmouth, and it would be down to that back four and Peacock Farrell, who, in my opinion, is far too good for this division. How Wednesday have got him on loan from Burnley, I do not know. He should be at loan in a mid-table championship club as a minimum, like Mick's doing. If you're watching on YouTube, could be money, and I think we all need to get a tinfoil hats on and say, how have you been paying these players when you weren't paying them at the end of last season? But now their back four and the keeper were very, very good against us, and Peacock Farrell was the difference between us scoring and us not. I know it seems like an obvious thing to say, like the goalkeeper's the difference between scoring and not, but he saved the penalty. All right, our other chance in the second half was a bit of a scramble, but he still kept it out. You know, their back four limited us to 2 chances, really, one of which was a foul by a striker, which was the penalty, and then the other one, they dealt with it. So, yeah, their back four and their keeper I've got very high praise for. So, all of the people on social media who are abusing me, have that. I think your back four is very good. There you go.
Yeah. Finish on us, Mick. I think we mentioned this yesterday. It's for a 2-part point, this. I think it's a reality check for us, but at the same time, it's not something to get too downhearted. But we beat Plymouth and Morecambe. We're not going to be up there at the end of the season, but they're 6 points. That's still good 6 points. Sheffield Wednesday, I know Ben won't like this, but Sheffield Wednesday on paper should be in and around the playoffs. But it's early days. But at the same time, it is a reality check because we still need strength in depth. We're still a striker short. We're still a full-back short. What are your views on what I've just said?
It's August. It's not even end of August. You know what I mean? You can't... The league doesn't start taking shape till October, November time. You know, teams don't start gelling together and playing together. And before anybody starts, I accept that the vast majority of this team played together last season, but that's a completely different level and in completely different circumstances with fans outside the fans not in the stadium as well. So the circumstances are different this year in terms of that. So it's August. Yeah, it'd be nice to get another striker in case we get an injury. It'd be nice to get some strength in depth at every position in case we get some more injuries. But we'll get what we get. We'll get what's available to us. We'll get the right people, you know, and the people that we can afford. Because I don't care how many times you want to shout your mouth off saying, "No, we want to spend some money. Tony Stewart needs to dig his hand in his pocket." We'll get the right people that we can afford because we'll still be here then. We'll carry on being a club, won't we? You know what I mean? And we won't have to go down to Swillsbury with begging buckets again like we did last time. Because apparently that happened. I don't know whether you noticed that. Yeah, apparently it did. Yeah,
somebody's mentioned that, you know.
A couple of people mentioned it over the weekend and prior to the weekend. I don't know. Apparently they contributed a huge sum towards keeping us in existence.
I remember seeing this. I remember someone saying that the amount of money we got from Sheffield Wednesday doesn't cover the weekly wage of Lewis Wing.
Right.
I remember seeing something about that.
Yeah, it's a bit tight of them, really, isn't it? But I mean, it were 10, 15 years ago, weren't it? Well, a bit more now. So yeah. But I mean, we, you know, it is what it is. Listen, Saturday were 3 points. It doesn't matter who you play; it's still 3 points, isn't it? We didn't get, and it's disappointing. Yeah, it's disappointing to lose to them, but whatever. You know, it's I keep saying it's August. There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
42 games left.
42 games left, but there is transfer activity needed. We'll probably cover this on Friday because we've gone long. As expected. Ben, have you got any final points you want to mention in the game, positive or negative?
No, just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well. I do have one last point from, involving the game, shall we say.
Go on.
I don't know how I've managed this, but I've managed to rattle an entire fan base with a match report.
That's all. This is beautiful.
you know, it's like saying it's the worst thing ever written and I'll never get a job in journalism. FYI, lads, I've got one.
Well, you said that, Danny, don't you? But I mean, I've had to take a bit of advice, and we are going to close the website down on the advice of one particular tweet.
No!
Because I was told that we need to close it down because it's.
Oh no! Well, apparently it's my website.
Apparently. Oh, is it yours? Is it? Oh, well, you close yours down.
Website. Where's the big red button to close it down?
yeah. It's been fun because I knew all fans have sensitive lots, and I know some get triggered quite easily. I am genuinely shocked how triggered Wednesday fans were on Friday night. I cannot believe how much they were kicking off, and it was just glorious to watch. It was just beautiful, wasn't it? Poetry, emotion. It's just what
we're getting messages at 2:00 in the morning, just going, "Oh, you'll never make it in journalism." It's like, I don't care. I'm going to bed. Go on.
Yeah, my phone was read out just with loads and loads of notifications. Like 16-year-old Jonathan from Brinsworth telling me I'm a knob, and I mean, I've got pairs of gazelles that have been to more football matches than Jonathan's been to, and yet I'm the one that doesn't know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh God.
I enjoyed it. I loved every single second of it.
It was great.
It's funny, and to be fair, I've been clipped now by Luton fans, and then from Swillsbury. So what I need is a Premier League side and the League Two side, and I can go all 4 divisions.
I'm not gonna lie, the Luton one was funniest because that was just unexpected. That was the first time unexpected. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that was hilarious.
That's the new 92 challenge. Instead of getting to every ground with the 92, be clipped by a fan of all the 92. Oh, and by the way, I got someone kicking off at me for that as well because I've only been to 20 grounds. Oops, sorry, I can't afford to go to football, lads. I'm from a working class area. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But oh dear. But what I will say is, the people who I know are Sheffield Wednesday fans. They've been brilliant. They've messaged me with a bit of banter, which is what you do at football. And they've gone, you know what? I thought you played well. We played better. You'll be up there this season. And she's like, yeah, thanks, lads. Fair enough. And I was talking to one lad I know called Lewis. Lewis, if you're watching this, thank you very much.
You shouldn't be, Lewis. You're not a Rotherham United fan. You're a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Don't watch it.
But no, I was talking to him, and we decided that there's 2 levels to being a Sheffield Wednesday fan. There's the realist who understands they haven't been relevant since about 1991. And the delusional ones who think we still are relevant. It's like we had chants coming from their fans saying that, I don't know, like there's only one team in Yorkshire and it's them. Lads, there's 4 Yorkshire teams who are above you, one of which is Sheffield United. All right, they're not doing very well, but they're still a division higher than you. But the realist ones are like, you know what? Our level is Championship and League One. We accept that. We move on. Hope we do well, and I hope you do well. which is nice. So thank you very much. But the ones who still think you should be in the Premier League, you know, I mean, I think it might be time to lay off the beer and, you know.
Yeah,
I think you're right. You're right, Danny. There are some nice ones. I had a few tweets asking me if I were all right and if I wanted a hug and things like that. So I mean, there are some nice ones. Apparently,
yeah.
I assume they were genuine. I assume they meant it.
They must have done. Yeah, there's some clear idiots. I mean, some of my best friends are Sheffield Wednesday fans, so you know, there's some nice ones. Few and far between, but there's some nice ones. So we've gone long. I'm really sorry to everybody, except the Wednesday fans. If you're still watching, we might just leave it recording for another hour, just so you can keep watching. Just see if there's anything else.
If you are
like an Easter egg, you know, at Marvel, have an hour later after credits, they have another Easter egg bit. We'll do that for Wednesday fans.
I think our Easter egg is calling some of the fans delusional right at the end. If they somehow clip that on Twitter, I'll be impressed because they've made it an hour into a podcast just to find that clip.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if you are a Sheffield Wednesday fan, be aware that obviously every click that you do onto our website and onto our YouTube channel and everything else gets us each a tenner a piece. So just keep clicking, mate, because I'm planning a holiday to Tenerife next year on back of this.
Mick, no, that'll be their new version of begging buckets.
Yeah. Hey, mate, if I get a Tenerife on back of it, I can beg all you want.
We don't get £10 a pop. It's fine. I wish. So thank you all.
Freddo,
that's it. Yeah. Edit season, we get a Freddo as a thanks. So thank you all for watching, listening. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, go over there. We're nearly 300 subscribers. So thanks to everybody who's watched everything the last few days and clicked on those. We will be back on Friday morning when Mick will attempt to upset another set of fans as we go for the next South Yorkshire derby, which is Doncaster Rovers. Another early kick-off on Saturday. Go on, Mick. Go on quickly.
Why would I upset Donny fans?
Why would you upset Luton fans?
Well, because it's Luton, isn't it?
Anyway,
I mean, surely everybody understands that.
Here we go again. We've gone really long, so apologies. We've gone long again, 2 episodes in a row, but next time we will be back to normal service probably. So yeah, we're back Friday morning for that. Subscribe everywhere if you aren't already. We do really appreciate all the Rotherham fans that listen. Genuinely, we do really appreciate all the feedback and everything else. That is genuine. Thank you very much, Danny. It's been a pleasure. Your match day vlog will be probably up on Monday.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no doubt that'll get clipped as well.
Yeah.
So make sure you like and subscribe to that as well, Wednesday fans. Give it a like or a dislike. I don't care, whichever you want to do.
Ben, I think you're the most likely to get clipped out of all of us because you were very praiseful. That's not a word, but I mean, Bannon.
Yeah,
you should get a Barry Bannon tattoo.
Yeah, maybe I should.
You should get a Barry Bannon tattoo, but wearing a Rotherham shirt. Oh, that'd really upset him.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
No, you need to get a tattoo of sub-bench Bannon 10.
Bannon, just Bannon on his own in a Rotherham jacket, just sat on a bench. Sorry, Ben. Thank you.
I would say, listen, I didn't get any abuse, so
you didn't. You did.
I think did I?
You did. Yeah. Somebody clipped you talking about Lewis Wing.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't go on Twitter, so I didn't see it. So maybe they like me. I don't know.
They don't.
That's a shame.
And Nick, you are. Well, I can't say anything more. Thank you very much for putting on this show. It's been I enjoy it.
It's made a disappointing weekend a little bit more bearable, hasn't it?
It has a bit, yeah. That's true. So yeah, thanks to all the Sheffield Wednesday for I've made it enjoyable. We do. I've cheered me right up. Yeah. We will see you all on Friday for the next episode. Thank you very, very much.
Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel.